I'm so mad I had to move my keys into another pocket.
2:22.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Should we do it?
Yeah, I'm just waiting on you.
I'm ready.
Start the show.
Something wrong with that?
Yeah, you have the speaker on.
Oh boy, you are.
There we go. Grandpa alert.
Okay.
We have a code. What is it when an old person is lost on the highway?
Oh, I don't know. Code Silver Fox?
Yeah, cold. We got a cold silver. It's not cold. It's not that.
Might be. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all set.
All right.
Sorry, I'm ready.
Okay. Whenever you're ready, you just let me know.
That's a go.
Hello? No, I'm just sitting around waiting for Nick to give the go-ahead.
I hate this bit so much.
Yeah, anytime. I know. No, I've been ready. No, I'm not doing anything later. Oh, you mean like in an hour? No, I'm at work. Yeah, hopefully he'll have given the go-ahead by then. No, I can't tell him that. All right, I gotta go. All right, love you too. Bye. No, I love you. All right, bye. You ready?
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I was just talking to Alexander McCall Smith. Welcome to episode 222 of the All the Books Show, otherwise known as Electric Boogaloo.
Oh.
222. Help, it's falling apart. It's falling apart before
it started falling apart because it's 222, because we're episode 222.
Uh-huh.
Electric Boogaloo 222.
Yeah.
No,
Boogaloo.
wait. What is that a sequel to? What is Electric Boogaloo?
I don't know.
You don't
before
know?
my time.
Yeah.
You were a young 21-year-old
It's one of
whenever
those
that
ones
happened.
That always comes up.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah.
I don't actually know
I think it just rhymes perfectly.
what the movie is.
Maybe there is no Electric Boogaloo. Did you look it up?
I did. Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Disappointing.
Yeah.
Real letdown.
I mean, so I guess it's just like a dance movie.
That is a letdown of like
I know.
the ages.
I know.
All right. Well, All the Book Show 222.
Yes.
We talk book news, author news, and literary news.
Yes.
I'm Eric Mickles.
I'm Nick Gunning.
Hey, man.
Today we don't have an author visit, but if you happen to miss last episode, go back, soundcloud.com/allthebooks or anywhere you get your podcasts, and take a listen to a special interview we did with Mel Gilden. We had a great time talking to Mel, so thanks again. Today, though, are you able to control your excitement for our topic today?
What are we talking about again?
Dinosaurs. You probably think that was a staged reaction, but that's actually how Eric responds to dinosaurs. So I know. We've got a whole month of programming here at the David A. Howe Public Library surrounded on dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Because it's Dinovember.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did a special Y for Adults book club that we're going to do a little bit later, talking about Tess Sharp's The Evolution of Claire, Jurassic World book. And then we're just going to talk about some of our other favorite dinosaur fiction. Are you going to talk nonfiction dinosaur books as well? Or are you sticking to fiction?
I guess we'll see.
This is going to be a 3-hour episode. I can feel it right now. All right, but that's doing it. You want to get into our bookmark?
Dinovember is part of the long-standing tradition of celebrating the times when the Pilgrims came off the Mayflower, and there was a very harsh winter, and the dinosaurs ate them. And that's what happened to Roanoke, Virginia.
Wow.
Yeah.
I actually had heard that. Let's bookmark it up. Why don't you go first?
Because I'm never ready.
Oh.
Okay. What did I read? What
Tell
did I
me.
finish? I talked about this last time, but I finished the series, the Clone Wars, Star Wars comic series.
Oh, the comic. Okay.
Oh, you were so excited that I finished the show so I could watch Rebels. Not yet. I'm on season 4 of the show now. I've picked up the pace. So I guess this used to be called like Star Wars Republic, and then when the movies got to the Clone War era, the comics switched. It became all about
I
the
don't
Clone
think
Wars.
I've read any of these.
No, you haven't. They're by John Ostrander.
Okay.
I have been looking up. I have been on Wikipedia nonstop.
I've used Wikipedia quite a lot for just getting the chronology of the Star Wars Expanded Universe.
Going through this
it's pretty
has
hard.
just been like, who is this character? And it's nice because on Star Wars, on the Wikipedia, they put what is still canon and then what is legends.
That is handy.
So like
For our whole episode on Legends, you can go back to episode 17 of the All the Book Show, Star Wars: The Expanded Universe Strikes Back.
So like this series is where like Quinlan Voss became really popular, and also where what's her name? The Twi'lek, the blue Twi'lek lady.
Oh.
Oh boy! All right,
Aaron Dooley.
No, what?
Okay.
The Twi'lek.
I don't know. Oh my gosh.
Twi'lek.
Wait, mark a note of that. This is the most bored I've ever been.
Ayla Secora.
Oh, okay.
This is where Ayla Secora became very popular, and apparently, George Lucas just thought she was cool, and so put her in the movies.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Luckily, he put her in those movies to die.
Right.
Like everybody.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it just leads up to the end of the Clone Wars, and then Revenge of the Sith happens, and so then they tell like stories of the Jedi on the run and everything. It was good. It's good stuff. It's again, it's John Ostrander who just writes super solid character pieces, especially Star Wars stuff. I don't think I've read a Star Wars book by him that I didn't like.
Hey, Breakin' has a threequel called Rappin', but only Ice-T appears in Breakin', Breakin' 2, Electric Boogaloo, and Rappin'.
Is Rappin' like a 20-year-old, like it came 30 years later?
I think they start Breakin' and then they end Rappin'.
Okay.
So, just in case you're curious.
Right. I wasn't.
Okay.
I finished Jurassic World, The Evolution of Claire.
Oh, yes. I read that a few weeks back.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Do I just talk about it now?
Save it for the thing.
And right now I'm reading Star Wars: The Old Republic, Revan by Drew. Karpyshyn, I think. So he wrote the Darth Bane trilogy.
Yeah.
Which I know you read.
I only read the first of that, but I read both Deceived and Revan. So I've read quite a few of his Star Wars books.
He wrote something else. I can't remember what it was. But anyways, Revan's cool because it's basically a sequel to the first Knights of the Old Republic game, which I devoured. Okay. I tell you what, the twist about...
I was a little lost in reading that.
The twist that happens in that game with your main character blew my mind.
Wow.
17-year-old Eric had... It was like the ground opened up.
What kind of game is that?
RPG.
Oh, okay.
It was so kind of like your Dragon Age.
Can you still play it on anything?
Yeah, I think you can get it on Xbox.
Oh, interesting.
Digitally, I bet you can get it on your...
Maybe I will.
No, that was so cool. So Revan is like a sequel to that.
Okay.
If you do the light side ending, because you could go light or dark. And it's funny because just like his Darth Bane series, whenever we're dealing with Revan, I'm like, okay, this is fine. And then when we're dealing with the Sith, I'm like, all right. And then we go back to Revan. I'm like, darn it. And what's kind of annoying in this book is Revan is like, we have to put together the old team. And the guy starts listing off the old team. He's like, no, they can't come. They can't come. And finally, I'm like, all right, no one on the old team is coming. So anyway.
So you're enjoying the book so far?
Yeah.
All right.
Star Wars kind of becomes my cozy mystery.
Oh, okay.
I just pick up a book and I'm like, I don't know. I can just read it.
Nice.
I like the description of force powers weirdly.
Okay.
In it. Star Wars books are one of the few fantasy genre books where I actually will read the action and kind of care. So
okay.
I don't. I also have my copy of Daniel Wilson's Michael Crichton's The Andromeda Evolution.
Right. Yep.
So I'm going to read that.
Okay.
And then that's it.
Okay. Pretty exciting.
Yeah. In some ways, it was.
Oh, good.
In other ways, yeah.
Okay. I finished a couple of graphic novels that I'll tell you about. I finished Peter Parker, The Amazing Spider-Man Volume 3, Amazing Fantasy. Pretty good. I'm loving this series. This is by Chip Zdarsky, who's wrote some of the Jugheads and other things. A really good series, so I'm liking that quite a lot.
Does Spider-Man really like cheeseburgers in this now?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I read Super Sons, Volume 2, The Foxglove Mission. So this is by Ridley Pearson, who wrote the first Super Sons a while back. We got to talk to Ridley at the ALA conference.
We sure did.
Last year about the first volume of this, and he'd mentioned that there were a couple more in the works. I didn't like this one as much as I liked the first volume. This is following Superman's son and Batman's son and a third female character, and you're not really sure where she connects to the DC universe, so that's sort of a mystery so far. I like that it's very separate from everything else. It really feels like its own thing. But I felt like this one was so far away from like DC Comics that it was really hard to connect it at all. And it just sort of felt like some sort of odd sci-fi graphic. So it didn't really grab me as much as the others.
I was going to say, if you had liked this, I'm glad you liked the first one as much as you did, because I don't think either one of these books have had great reviews.
No, and I think he told me when we were chatting about this that there was a trilogy, so there's supposed to be at least one more. So I guess we'll see where that
in
goes,
our collection.
I don't think there's been a lot of play on these.
Yeah.
I don't think that's working.
Yeah, all the other like DC kid things that have come out have seemed to have more everything
not
behind
Swamp
them.
Kid.
No, not Swamp Kid. But that doesn't make any sense because he's not even a young Swamp Thing.
Right.
Anyway.
Yeah, it's bizarre. So I did read that, and let's see. Oh, you know what? I finally finished Steve Englehart's Green Lantern run. So I picked this up, and it's weird because part of it's collected on the DC Universe app. Some of it is collected in trades, and then some of it is just hanging out there blowing in the wind. So I actually read these last several in single issue form, and it was fun. I mean, it's a really strong run. He's got a good handle on the character. The end suffers a little bit because of all the different connections and things, but it's still really solid. I like his take on the characters.
Is this from the 80s?
I just enjoy his writing. Yeah, it is.
Okay.
If you haven't listened to our Steve Englehart interview, pop back into the archives, take a listen to that because we got a lot of interesting stuff from him in that interview.
The cover, the Green Lantern Corps 216 says, "Who watches the Watchmen?" So this was contemporary with the Watchmen series.
I also read one that I've been actually anticipating for quite a while, and that's Superman Year One by Frank Miller.
Yeah, I'm not sure why you've been anticipating.
I
it.
know. I guess
you've been anticipating it's coming, but maybe not. So
I was hoping it would land just right for me. I don't want to talk about it now because I want you to read it, and then I want us to discuss it because I have some feelings, and I think I've been wrong many times, but I think we might agree on this.
Maybe I'll love it.
You might.
I don't know.
All right.
How did I go again? I liked Dark Knight Returns. Dark Knight Strikes Again was weird, but okay. Yeah. I didn't care for Last Crusade, and I strangely found Master Race to be more entertaining than I expected.
Yeah. Finally, for graphics, I read Trinity Volume 1, Better Together. This is a Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman book, which weirdly, even though it's a Volume 1 and is about Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, is a continuation from a Poison Ivy miniseries called Poison Ivy Cycle of Life and Death. So I don't know why you would do that.
It's the cycle.
But moving into my currently reading, I'm currently reading Poison Ivy, Cycle of Life and Death, trying to figure out what the heck I just read. I'm also reading Little Women by Louisa May Alcott for our Christmas Classics book club. And I got to tell you, there's a lot more in this book than you want.
Than the movies would have you believe.
Yeah. I really firmly feel that people's affection for Little Women has everything to do with movies and other adaptations because the book is a bit of a slog. I mean, the characters are rich, there's interesting things happening, but it's one of those things where like, okay, Beth is sick. We've been reading about Beth being sick for like 100 pages now. Let's turn the corner on Beth's illness. You know what I mean? It's just it's rough. So
in the book, I don't think
send
she
your
dies
letters to the David A. Howe Public
Library. She dies until like the very end of the movie.
She dies?
No,
I don't think she does die.
I was kidding.
Okay,
never mind. Sorry,
and then
finally, guess I thought we knew what we were talking about.
I'm reading Cross Currents by Paul S. Kemp. This is a sci-fi. Well, no, it's a time travel Star Wars books, which is kooky, but I'm kind of digging it so far.
The Sith on the cover of this, I'm pretty sure that's the same species that General Grievous is.
I think it is, yeah.
So I looked that up because I was like, I still don't really know what Grievous is.
Yeah.
He's that guy.
What is it?
I can't remember the name of it. It's on Wikipedia.
Okay. That's it for reading, but I did want to mention also, if you're not familiar, we have a nice selection of video games here in the collection. We have Xbox, Switch, and PS4, plus some older systems as well. On PS4 in particular.
Yeah, those games are still surprisingly popular here.
Really?
Oh yeah,
interesting.
And like the Just Dances and like all the ones you wouldn't think are really popular.
I can't believe they're still putting out Just Dance for Wii.
Just Dance for the Wii is still their best-selling version of Just Dance.
Really?
Yes.
That's crazy. All right. Anyway, but one of the ones we have the whole Uncharted collection, Nathan Drake Uncharted. So there's 4 of those. I've finished all of those thanks to Eric buying them for our collection here. And I just finished Uncharted Lost Legacy, which is sort of a spin-off sequel focusing on some side characters. It was pretty good. The gameplay is pretty similar to Uncharted 4. I know I got some criticism for that, and I see that, but there's enough new, interesting stuff in there to make it like a worthy addition to the franchise. Now I guess I got to get a PlayStation Vita so I can play the other 2 Uncharted games.
Sorry, man. You were just at a Retro Game Con.
I didn't
find
one.
And you were too busy playing Game Boy Taz.
I know. It was
and
pretty
Star
fun.
Trek Generations.
I know. That was not a good game, but anyway.
Well, I'm glad Taz has paid his dividends.
That's it for me, bookmark-wise.
Okay.
All right. Shall we move into some book news with the New York Times bestseller list?
Unless you have any book news that's not New York Times bestsellers list.
I don't think at the moment.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, me either. Oh wait, we're just getting something in. No, I'm kidding.
No, we're saving up our page-to-screen adaptations
That's true.
coming in. We've been getting a lot of announcements about page-to-screen in 2020, but we're going to save that a little bit later in the year so we can do a whole
A lot of
spotlight on
awards
that,
coming up,
Absolutely.
so that will be a thing. Did you
But
see any movies?
No, I don't think so.
I haven't seen anything in a while.
Yeah.
I think the last movie I saw was it was Doctor Sleep with You.
Yeah.
And then Jojo Rabbit. Like all these movies that come out that I just haven't gone to see.
Yep, I
I
know.
just have no time.
I'm behind.
Gotta go see Frozen 2, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Gotta go see that Ferrari movie.
Do you?
Will this big corporation defeat this big corporation?
Yeah.
I guess I've been watching Italian soccer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time understanding what soccer I should be watching. So I guess
None?
Italian soccer might be on the wane.
Don't watch soccer, I guess?
Oh, you know what? I didn't say this. I did read the National Geographic for Kids book, Everything Soccer.
I didn't see that on your Goodreads.
That's true. I should put it on my Goodreads.
You should.
I have to tell you, I learned a few things. The field in soccer is called a pitch.
Oh. Fever Pitch.
No. You could do that, though.
Right?
That'd be very good, yes.
Is it Fever Pitch about soccer?
No, it's about baseball. It's about the Red Sox.
No. The movie is about
Yeah.
baseball, but the book by Hornsby is about soccer.
Cool. Nice. I didn't know that.
Go back to episode 197 for my pal Chris Casali dropping a lot of soccer knowledge on us.
I know. I'm going to have to.
Now that you're into soccer, you need to go back
and read all
learn
that.
from
Yeah.
Chris.
Well, all I did
Hi,
was
Chris.
the Everything Soccer was like, this is how many players you can have on the field. I'm like, sweet. So now I know. 11.
That sounds boring.
No, it's good. Now I
Good.
know how to play the sport.
Great.
I mean, I can't play the sport.
No, you can't.
Did you know that the men's North American teams have never placed better than third in the World Cup?
I had heard that.
But the women's North American team has never placed lower than
Yeah,
third.
that's where it's at.
So,
Yep.
and guess what's not on my ESPN Plus?
What?
app? The women's soccer.
Oh, come on.
the
now.
best soccer we have. And
That's too bad.
yeah. Anyways, yeah, let's do the New York Times bestsellers list.
All right.
So let's start out by saying what's at number 13, new this week.
Tell me.
Michael Crichton's The Andromeda Evolution.
Oh, it's on the
It debuted at number 13.
number 13. Okay.
A team of experts is assembled to stop an evolving and potentially apocalyptic microbe. Boy, that sure sounds familiar.
Yeah.
You know, so it debuts at number 3.
Okay.
I think that says all you need to know.
Number 13.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the audience for like the Michael Crichton universe is slim.
That it debuts at 13?
Yeah.
Out of all books?
Yeah.
I don't think that's bad.
You don't think so?
No.
Tom Clancy's books are constantly breaking top 10.
But that's a known thing. The Tom Clancy books never stopped. That's the thing.
Okay.
And it's a series. I mean, Jack Ryan and John Clark and all those characters have
Mm-hmm.
continued ever since Tom Clancy was writing them. There was a much
Okay.
more smooth transition, whereas Crichton's publication, I mean, at this point, it's like every 5 years they unearth something new.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that it is not like a paperback original like a William Johnstone is something. And I think number 13 is a decent debut.
Okay. Do you think it just needs to pick up steam for people to get used to it again?
I think, well, I don't know why you pick Andromeda Strain.
Yes. I don't know.
I just think that's a really, really
Yeah.
weird book to pick.
Do you think we're now at the dawn of a all new Crichton verse?
Possibly.
Do you think all the Crichton books takes place in the same universe?
Ooh, like Stephen King? Are they all set
Yeah.
in Derry, Maine?
I don't think. I think Sphere would break a lot of the. Maybe not. I mean, only at the end of that movie. No, maybe it's fine.
I just think that Andromeda Strain is it's an interesting book, but I don't think it's a particularly good Crichton book. It's very, very sciencey. Like I know
Yeah,
they
I
all
like
are,
it.
but that one is very. I don't know. I just don't think that that's the one that people are clamoring for a sequel to. I think
No.
it's a weird start.
No. People obviously want.
Eaters of the Dead too.
I was gonna say Prey too. Yeah, Eaters of the Dead too. That's a good one.
All right.
Go back for seconds.
Anyway,
Huh? That was one of the
That's
things I
pretty
came up with.
Yeah.
All right, number 10 on the New York Times bestsellers list, The Giver of Stars by Jojo Moyes. In Depression-era Kentucky, 5 women refuse to be cowed by men or convention as they
Oh.
deliver books. Also, they will not be cowed by actual cows.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
No matter how much those cows try
I think that's where that comes from.
to be cowed,
Yeah.
to be harassed by
I
cows.
think it's cow related.
Okay.
Mhm.
Like I'm just trying to deliver books to a new school and the cows are like,
cows
hey, what's
hassling
up? Look
me."
at
Yeah.
that guy with his books.
Yeah, you figured it out.
Leave me alone, you cool cows.
That's stupid.
Okay. Number 9 is The Starless Sea. Hard to navigate a starless sea.
Yes, it is.
By Aaron Morgenstern.
Mm-hmm.
Zachary Ezra Rollins fights to save a. Oh boy, you did this for me last time. Labyrinthian underground respiratory of
I think
stories.
you got it. You just needed to take that pause. And
I
figured it
sure
out.
did. Yeah, we talked about that. I was just reading this thing about how people were complaining. What's his name? The guy who wrote Les Mis.
Victor Hugo?
Yes, Victor Hugo. Either it was Les Mis or Hunchback, how he just describes like the Paris sewer system for like
Les Mis
chapters.
Les Mis is off the charts. It's like you're cooking along with the story, and he's like, here's 300 pages about Waterloo. It's like, okay.
Right.
All right, Victor.
Number 8 is The Institute by Stephen King. Children with special talents are abducted and sequestered in an institution where sinister staff seeks to extract their gifts through harsh methods. And by the end, no one will be happy with this book.
That's the truth. Boy, oh boy.
Number 7, I combined the title and the name of the author.
Cool.
Olive Again by Elizabeth Strout. Published by Random House.
Thank you.
Random
Sequel
House.
to the Pulitzer Prize winning book.
Oliver Kittredge.
Olive
Kittredge.
Yep.
Oliver Kittredge standing inside of a... I don't know that song.
Are you trying to sing Eleanor Rigby?
Yeah.
I don't think you want the Beatle copyright people coming out.
New relationships, including a second marriage, are encountered in a seaside town in Maine. Gosh,
Derry, Maine?
I had to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, I lived in northeast Massachusetts.
How
we
was
were
it?
right on the line of New Hampshire.
Okay.
Maine is not that far,
Mm-hmm.
nor is it that interesting.
Really?
Yes.
Hot take.
Many of us who had to travel up to Maine were quick to turn around.
Really?
There were very few times where I was in Maine
That's a
where
parable.
I would say, I'd like to live here.
Let's stick around in Maine.
I never did.
Mm.
Boy, we found, me and my sister found out a friend of ours was from Maine. We taught him some lessons.
The Murder, She Wrote books by Donald Bain,
Uh-huh.
and now John Land, set in Maine.
Oh,
Cabot
Donald
Cove,
Maine.
Maine.
Okay.
Yep.
We used to draw little comic strips about life in Maine,
Yeah.
like people hanging out by a bale of hay. Then that hay catches on fire, and the
Mhm.
people are crying because it was the only thing they had to watch.
Wow.
Their bale of hay.
Wow. Describing amateur cartoon strips on an audio medium
Yeah.
is bold.
Okay, you know what? I think that landed. Just imagine that in stick figures and a brother and sister laughing their heads
I'm
off.
not going to.
Meanwhile, their friend is crying like, it's not that bad.
Mm.
Lobster's great for pancakes.
Mm.
Lobster cakes.
Yeah.
Number 6, The Dutch House by Anne Patchett. A sibling relationship is impacted. I had a sibling relationship.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
You wrote comic strips together.
When the family goes from poverty to wealth and back again over the course of many decades. At least they have decades to be rich.
Yeah, you're right.
They have that. Number 5. The Night Fire by Michael Connelly. Harry Bosch and Renee Ballard return to take up a case that held the attention of Bosch's mentor. And then Harry Bosch finds out he's in Congo too. Gorilla Boogaloo.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I just feel like to make those Crichton-related jokes, it's a limited audience.
Yeah.
And the same thing with
Mhm.
like Michael Crichton verse is
Yeah.
now. All right. Number 4 is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I think they're singing CCR. It just seems like the thing they would
That
do.
makes sense. Yeah. Born on the Bayou.
Yeah,
That-
yeah.
Is that CCR?
Up ahead,
Now I'm not
moon
sure if Born on the
rising.
Bayou is
No, that was,
CCR.
yes.
Okay.
Yes. In a quiet town of North Carolina coast in 1969, a young woman who survived alone in the marsh becomes a murder suspect while also signing the band Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Can I tell you, I know I've talked about this book a lot, but can I tell you the murder plot in this? Were I in the editor's seat, I would have been like, snip, because
Ooh.
it is not necessary or
Yeah.
relevant.
You know, this is the second conversation I've had where you've become like this this editor. You described you were talking about DC being an editor.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Just maybe that's your calling.
You want me to become an editor?
to be the editor in chief
of DC Comics?
or
Putnam?
Putnam.
Yeah. Sure. All right.
All right. Sorry, Delia Owens.
My wife's an editor.
Right.
So I think for the two of us both to be editors.
Right.
I just don't think it would
But you'd
work.
be the editor who's like making sure continuity and all
Mhm.
that. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
Would
don't
you-
think
what
so.
about? Has your wife read this?
Yeah, she's actually reading it right now.
Does she agree?
She hasn't got to the total end of it, so we haven't discussed it. I can tell you that she's not super impressed with it, which was my experience too.
All right.
So
sorry, Kendra.
Born on the Bayou.
Number 3 is Lee Child's Blue Moon. Jack Reacher gets caught up in a turf war between Ukrainians and Albion gangs when he steals their plutonium to power his time
Was
time
there a
flux
quid pro quo?
capacitor. I really fell apart there. I couldn't
Yeah, you
remember.
did, yeah.
It's just the flux capacitor.
Flux capacitor.
It's not a time flux capacitor.
No.
I don't
mean,
know.
I think that's implied.
Yeah.
You don't have to say
Sorry.
it.
It's for Jack Reacher's DeLorean. He only has two things.
Yeah.
His toothbrush and his DeLorean.
Yep. That's it.
Number 2, The Guardian by John Grisham.
Dad
Post.
Christmas. Merry Christmas, Dad. I got you the new John Grisham.
Who are you again?
Every kid.
All right. Yeah. You look just like your mother.
Aw.
Cullen Post, a lawyer and Episcopal minister, antagonizing some ruthless killers when he takes on a wrongful conviction case. And to solve it, he must travel back into the 50s and get his parents back together.
Wow.
After his mom gets the hots for him.
Yeah. How is his plan to make out with his mom? Why is that the plan in Back to the Future?
I don't know.
That's why Disney didn't want it. Did you know that? Disney was like,
That's funny, yeah. They were too busy making Peter Pan.
Yeah, I guess. What's number 1?
Twisted. Oh, wait, in the 80s? No, I guess they were busy Great Mouse Detective. If you found out that you passed on Back to the Future and gave a green light to Great Mouse Detective, are you a mad Disney exec? Or you're like, all right, that's fine.
I don't think anyone cares about or remembers The Great Mouse Detective.
Wow.
I loved it as a child. I loved it as a child, but nobody has seen that movie
please
since
just
1994.
Sell your stocks so we can get you out of this boardroom.
I promise you no one has watched The Great Mouse Detective
really?
Since
because
1994.
When I got Netflix back in the day, it was one of the DVDs I requested.
What year was that?
2010.
Oh, okay. All right.
So someone has watched it.
Did you watch it when the disc came, or did you just mail it back?
I brought it home for a holiday and watched it, and it was just okay.
Your
thank
voice
you.
was consistently high-pitched throughout that whole thing.
It's not hard to do.
What's number 1?
Oh, drum roll, please.
Okay.
Nick is going to be so happy. He loves these books. He can't get enough of them. Twisted 26 by Janet Ivanovich.
Oh.
The 26th book in the Stephanie Plum series.
I have heard good things about the Stephanie Plum. The only experience I have are like some of the side books. I read one of the Christmas ones. I read one of the ones that's like magic. It's like a magic Christmas book, and it was terrible. I hated it.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Because there's magic.
I know.
It's Christmas.
I know.
All right.
I know.
Sorry.
All right.
That's an in-joke between me and Nick.
Yeah, in case you were wondering. Yep.
The 26th book in the Stephanie Plum series, a New Jersey gangster's associates go after a bounty hunter's widowed grandmother.
Whoa.
You're going to have to wake up
Is that
pretty
true?
early in the morning to get old Granny.
Is that because old people wake up early?
They do.
They really do.
Well, they got to get to Old Country Buffet.
Yeah.
As it's opening.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
I don't know why they get up so early.
They don't sleep as much.
I guess we can't assume that all seniors get up super early, but
isn't it just you don't have to sleep as much when you're older? You're using less energy.
True? Is that true?
I guess it depends on
I
how.
thought you had to sleep more.
But you nap.
I don't know. We need a science consult.
Listen, I don't know.
All right. Well, let's move into our segment.
I'm not looking forward to turning old, but I guess I am looking forward to being able to sleep unless I can't sleep even more.
I got news for you. You turned old a few years ago.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, wait.
I can
Do you mean like 30?
Yeah.
Boo.
Oh, sorry. All right. Now we're going to be talking about Eric's favorite fish, the dinosaur. Dinosaurs are technically in the fish family. Did you know that?
Dinosaurs are not in the fish family, thank you.
They are. Yes, they are. They're
Dinosaurs
insectoid.
are not fish.
Yes,
they're
they
not
are.
insectoid.
They're insectoid fish, and Eric doesn't know anything about them.
Insectoid fish? No, not really. Like shrimp?
Anyway, as I mentioned at the top of the show, it's Dinovember here at the David A. Howe Public Library. So we're going to be talking about some of our favorite dinosaur books. But before we get into that, we're going to get into a book that Eric hated and that I sure did okay with. But our pick for this month for our YA for Adults book club was Tess Sharp's The Evolution of Claire, which follows the character of Claire
Dennings.
Deering.
Yeah, who's Denning?
Kat Dennings?
Kat Denning.
Kat Dennings is not in it.
No.
This book would have been made better with
Yeah.
the addition of Kat
Yeah.
Dennings or a Kat Dennings-like
Yeah.
character. But no.
No.
Claire Deering, as played by Bryce Dallas Howard in the film Jurassic World and Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom. But this book is set in between Jurassic Park 3 and Jurassic World as Claire accepts an internship into the Jurassic World world. Eric?
Yes.
Take it away.
About this book?
Yeah, just sort of set
First
it up
off,
for us.
I hate the cover.
It's not a great cover.
It's a terrible cover. So
Yeah.
you've got the Jurassic World font, then you've got the Evolution of, which is a separate font, and then Claire is in this cursive font.
Yeah.
I hate it. I hate that.
Okay.
And so then you have Claire kind of being faded out, and you've got like the DNA sequences around her face.
No,
okay.
you do, yeah.
And then at the bottom, there's a raptor in Claire and one of the characters from the book reacting. Also, the Jurassic Park logo is slightly faded on the top left. It is too busy. It is all over the place. The raptor shows up for the last 10 pages of this book. Anyway, that's how I feel about the cover of this book.
Mm-hmm.
And about the insides, listen. I know you're thinking that this book offended me as a Jurassic Park fan.
I was thinking that, yeah.
Not true.
Okay.
The biggest problems I had with this book were the YA elements. I thought this had all the elements of a YA book that I tend to not like, just cranked up to 11. I hated the dialogue.
Okay.
I hated, like, a lot of the characters were just so, like, there's a Draco Malfoy in this book. There's the guy who can never do or say anything wrong, love interest. There's the super cool best friend. And you got on my case about this. Or not on my case, but you don't think it's as serious. This book is set in 2005.
Yes.
It is not. There are things like there's consumer drones being used by people to like upload the specs of the park online. I'm like, that's not a thing in 2005. They talk about live streaming kittens online. I'm like, where? I think YouTube just launched and they're using phrases. It just doesn't seem like it's 2005.
Okay.
So I don't know. But yes, the dialogue killed me. If you're going into this hoping for like Jurassic Park thrills and chills, it's not going to happen. You're going to find a baby Triceratops, a baby Brachiosaurus, and then the raptor at the last 10 pages because you have to do something like that in one of these books.
Okay. So there's nothing you liked about it then, basically.
I did not. I guess even like as a prequel to like Jurassic World and maybe world building and like, oh, is this the new expanded universe of Jurassic Park? I felt like it just didn't add anything other than we found out that at one point Claire had a big heart and then she made herself cold for the movie.
Okay.
So there wasn't enough of the like every now and then Tess Sharp would write somebody saying or mentioning Isla Sorna from The Lost World. It was like, well, yes, you know of Isla Sorna. Congratulations, you've mentioned it, and now it seems deeper.
Speaking of Jurassic Park lore, though, the one of the like I don't know teenagers. I guess they're college age, so like 1920. One of the characters' name was Eric, and I thought, oh, I bet that's the kid from Jurassic Park 3.
Yeah.
But it isn't.
No.
And like age-wise, that
also
would work
there's a kid. There's a guy working at the park named Tim.
Yeah,
it's not Tim Murphy.
Right. I thought that was a big mistake to use like Jurassic Park names.
Yeah.
And not have them connect to the other characters. That just seems like a no-brainer. Like, I don't know why you'd do that.
I don't know.
I guess I was more kind to this book overall. I agree with you that it was very much like cookie-cutter YA in the character archetypes, in the journey of the character. I suppose I don't read as much YA as you. I mean, like you're on top of it, like. For your job and all that. So like it's something that like you're much more immersed in. So whenever I pop into it, I guess I'm just more kind of like, yeah, this is YA.
Listen,
I just don't have strong feelings about it.
You and I were talking about Claudia Gray's Lost Stars, the Star Wars book.
Off mic.
And Lost Stars is very YA. It's very much like a love relationship story with teenagers in that book, and it's clicking all the way buttons in a Star Wars story, but it's done in such a. It's not as annoying. The story is better. I just don't think there's much of a story here. The interns just seem to have run of the park in this thing. It's so bizarre.
I guess I was disappointed. I mean, just stick with your comparison about if we're talking about Claudia Gray. I recently read Leia, Princess of Alderaan, which is another Claudia Gray YA, and it's. In a lot of ways, you can make comparisons between these two books because the Leia book is kind of set between the two movies. You have this whole like lore to be working in, and you're focusing on this character, and you're getting all these like you got the love interest, you got the friend, blah blah blah.
Right.
But I agree with you that I think Claudia Gray's take on that, even though you can see the YA tropes, it's sort of like. You're like, oh, here we go. Here it is. It's not like, oh, brother. And it was a little bit of an oh, brother situation here.
Yeah.
Where you're kind of like, come on.
I've read YA where, like, you can tell it's written for young adult, like Salt to the Sea or Claudia Gray's other books, the 1,000 Pieces of You and all this. And, like, there's very easy ways to do it so that it's not, super annoying. I just found all the characters in this very annoying. Not just the characters we weren't supposed to like.
I can't remember. Is this written in first person? Is Claire like, I have to go and find this thing?
Yes.
It is? Okay. So I think, I
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that super worked. I wasn't sure. I'd be interested to know, like, is Tess Sharp a Jurassic Park fan? Like, has she read the other books? Was there any attempt to sort of get the vibe that's in there? Because I didn't really feel that it jived too well with the new movies or, like, the books or anything. It just kind of felt like its own little thing.
I guess it's just not. I don't know. It just. I don't know who it makes happy. It has pretty decent reviews on Goodreads, which is confusing to me. But like, so is this a book for people who just want YA and YA romance? Is this a book for people who like Jurassic Park and want more of that? Because
I don't know. Also, I don't know if it was meant to have like a sequel or anything like that. Because Chris Pratt's character is not in this at all, and they have a history, so it just kind of seems like that would have been
I think on
a way to go. But
I think on Goodreads it says like Jurassic World 1.
Oh, does it?
But I don't think anything, or Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom Book 1.
Oh,
I don't think anything's coming from that.
No, I don't think so either.
But I feel like there is, I mean, maybe you have the issue with it being a YA Jurassic Park book. I think they definitely misjudged the young adult audience's interest in Jurassic Park and Jurassic World. It's not
that's
really,
fair.
But then again, most, I feel like most people reading the young adult Star Wars books are adults.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't know anything about anything, but here we are. Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom #1, The Evolution of Claire. So, you think the other one will be like the Rise of Owen?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen. It would make sense that the next one would focus on them, but you're right.
Owen.
I don't see a single talk about having another book after that.
Yeah.
So maybe they decided, well, this isn't.
Look at this. It has a 4.05 rating.
I guess
it's crazy.
I thought it was fine. I gave it 3 stars.
Everybody here on Goodreads on their front page is just giving it 5 stars. Oh, get bent.
Wow.
All right, I'm getting off this page.
I see. I knew it would upset you.
It does.
All right, so I don't know really who I would recommend this to, because I wouldn't recommend it to a Jurassic Park fan, and I think
But you made one read it. At one point, I wanted to read this, but then I kind of went through it. I'm like, oh, I don't think I like the dialogue I'm seeing.
Yeah.
That cursory glance was very correct on my end.
You're right. Well, I'm glad that we read it. Yeah. I mean, I love the other 2 Jurassic Park books, and I guess we can transition into that now, talking about some other
dinosaur books
we've read and enjoyed, because
dinosaur book stands for. No, it doesn't. Never
mind. Because Jurassic Park was a book that, for me, just captivated me instantly. Like, I'd never seen the books. I didn't know anything about Jurassic Park. Like, I read the books just totally blind. I hadn't seen the movies or anything. I just picked up the book, and I loved it. And I think it is, like, where this book fails, I think that those books obviously are succeeding in giving you these rich characters, giving you, like, a fuller narrative. And, of course, it's a difference between writing for adults and writing for YA. But I still think... I don't know. The Crichton books are just so good. And I think The Lost World, for me, was my favorite of the 2.
Oof.
And you don't agree with that.
No, I just reread those books recently, and I can tell you that The Lost World does not hold up dialogue-wise.
Okay.
If you, depending on how your memory works with that thing. Ian Malcolm is very obnoxious in it, and not just like the funny obnoxious that he can be. He is just obnoxious to the reader. There's so many times where people are like, why are the dinosaurs doing this way? Well, it's quite obvious. Wow. Just wait and see. It's just like, that's what the whole book is. And it just, but Jurassic Park is still a pretty fun thrill ride. A lot quicker than I remember it. But of course, then the first time I read it, I was in 5th grade. So just reading like big words was hard for me.
I've never reread them.
Well.
But for some reason, The Lost World just like really did it for me.
I liked it a lot as a kid. But
so how do you rate that now?
I mean, Jurassic Park's the better book.
I mean, like, would you do like 5 stars for Jurassic Park and what for Lost World?
Probably 5 and 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's still pretty strong then.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still a lot of fun at dinosaur action.
Okay.
Maybe time will tell. We'll see what happens in another 5 or 10 years when I reread them.
Have you read any of the other Jurassic Park? Like, I know there was like a junior book series that came out around Jurassic Park 3. And then there's also like a lot of graphic novels and that sort of thing. Have you ever really ventured outside?
I didn't read any of the Jurassic Park 3 anythings.
Okay.
Since I wasn't thrilled by that. I read the Jurassic Park 1, the junior novelization.
Okay.
I read the Jurassic Park. They had this like paleontology's guide that came out with Jurassic Park, where it was like, this is how you would dig up dinosaur bones, but also Ian Malcolm and Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler like giving you advice and stuff. I'm like, this is fun.
So is Evolution of Claire the first time you've read a new like Jurassic Park piece of fiction?
I guess.
Interesting.
Yeah. I haven't read the comics just because I just haven't gotten them.
Okay.
So the old ones are so like out of print.
Yeah, they
like
are.
Marvel.
Really,
It's Marvel.
yeah.
They just haven't like put them out. All those like
and
sequels,
they
like
also-
Raptors Attack and
For
everything.
a while, it was Topps, the baseball company,
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like
yeah,
putting
yeah.
out Jurassic Park comics, and those are impossible to find.
Yeah.
But I
Like-
actually read the junior novelization for Jurassic Park 3 because I just loved the first 2 books and I wanted more. I tried that and was severely let down. It's just not a very good, like, you know how I feel about novelizations.
Sure do.
And I can,
You love them.
I know, and I kind of give them a little bit of extra grace, but the Jurassic Park 3 novelization is just too cookie cutter, and it just doesn't give you anything. It's not fun.
Hey.
Go ahead.
No, it's just novelization of what movie?
Jurassic Park 3.
Oh, right. That makes sense.
Okay. All right, but so let's get out of Jurassic Park for a little bit and talk about
Oh.
some of the others. Now, I gave you
You
as
can't get out of Jurassic Park. That's what's scary.
I gave you as a present Raptor Red by Robert T. Backer.
It's true. I haven't read it, but I remember as a kid I read like the first chapter and just had no idea what I was reading.
Let's talk about it.
Okay. Have you read it?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay.
But what is it?
It's just it's a story written. It's like the Bear or something where it's set during the Cretaceous period and it's about the Utah raptor because Jurassic Park's raptors are too big to actually be velociraptors because those are much smaller, about the size of turkeys and whatnot.
Okay.
And so Utah raptors were discovered after the movie came out. And so like the joke was Spielberg created it, we discovered it. And so after they discovered the Utah raptors like remains and everything, it's like, oh, there is a giant raptor. This guy wrote a book about it. I think it's Backer.
Yeah, Robert T. Backer.
Robert T. Backer.
So there's no human characters. It's
It's just the life of a Utah raptor
interesting.
and how it lives its life.
How would you sustain that?
I mean, if you're a paleontologist, you're just doing everything that you ever wanted
But I
to
mean,
do.
it's supposed to be like a thriller, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you're telling me being a raptor in the Cretaceous period isn't going to be a thrill
You're
ride
right,
every
you're right.
day?
It is thrilling. All right, well, why don't you tell us about one of the other fiction books that you've read and enjoyed then?
That had dinosaurs in them?
Yeah, a dinosaur-based fiction.
Animorphs, Megamorphs 2, In the Time of Dinosaurs
right.
by K.A. Applegate.
Okay.
So the first Megamorphs, it's fine. The whole gist is that every book of the Animorphs is told by one character.
Okay.
So you have, the first book is Jake, and then Rachel and Cass, and then it just keeps rotating. But Megamorphs was a bigger book, and all the characters would have different moments in it telling the story. So it was this big Megamorphs. And the first one had them just dealing with this alien. It wasn't that great. Second one, they end up going back in time to the time of the dinosaurs.
Whoa.
And it did everything you want. They morph into dinosaurs. Some of them morph into T-Rexes, and
Nice.
there's also aliens back then. At one point, I think Rachel morphed into a grizzly bear, and that Deinonychus just tore her up. So then they had to, morph into the dinosaurs and stuff.
Okay.
So yeah,
Pretty good.
made this guy super. But then when they came back to the present, they couldn't morph into dinosaurs anymore.
Oh, no.
And very sad.
That's too bad.
Megamorphs 3 was also
Well,
very good.
While we're talking about
Alfangor's Secret.
pretty good.
Time travel again, but time travel like through history.
I talked about before how I just don't get the Magic Treehouse books. I don't understand like why people like them. I don't understand their purpose. So I read to my son Dinosaurs Before Dark, which is a Magic Treehouse book.
Yeah,
And
I read this as a kid.
It's terrible.
As a kid, it did not hold my interest at
No,
all.
it's
This
so
was
boring.
book 1.
It is book 1.
I read the first 2, and then I was just like, "This isn't for me."
Yeah, I know.
I'm done.
I don't get it. I really don't get why they're so
Yeah.
beloved because they sort of pretend to be informative, but I don't think that they are.
No.
And they're not good stories.
Yeah.
And again, they suggest that children like break out of their house at night and
Yeah.
run to like a creepy
Treehouse.
treehouse.
Yeah.
Not on their property, on someone else's property. It's like, don't tell kids to wait till their parents go to bed and then climb out of their house.
It does seem like something
These
I
kids
would
are
did
like
as
5
a
and
kid.
6. It's insane.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I read Dinosaurs Before Dark. I didn't like it. My son didn't like it.
Okay.
What else you got? Let's talk Dinosaur Lords.
I read. Okay, so
What's the first book? In
Dinosaur Lords.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, all right. Dinosaur Lords.
Dinosaur Lords. This, if you remember, this was back. I first picked this up way back when we first started this podcast.
Yeah.
Not 4 years ago or something. Like when I first got here.
Yeah.
And you remember how excited I was because
I
it was
do,
like supposed to be Game of Thrones, but with dinosaurs. Boy, was I disappointed.
You were wrong.
Yeah, I didn't finish it.
Didn't like it.
I read like maybe half of it. I was like, this is gross.
So is there another dinosaur fiction novel that you like actually enjoyed?
They're few and far between.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. It's rough. Movie-wise, I mean, it's just Jurassic Park these days.
Yeah.
I mean, has been since, 93, it feels like.
I think that you should read The Great Zoo of China.
Maybe. I do have another. You suggested to me that because you think it has a very Jurassic Park vibe.
It does, and that might bother you because it's so clearly. And I think they even name dropped Jurassic Park in there. I think they're like,
listen,
this
this
almost like Jurassic Park.
That's
okay
fine.
With that?
Yeah.
You're okay with that?
I mean, I totally ripped off Jurassic Park as a kid for one of my stories.
Okay. Well, anyway, this book is called The Great Zoo of China. It's by Matthew Riley, and basically, they find living, breathing dragons and try to set up a Jurassic Park-esque zoo
For dragons.
and things just don't go so great. Much like in Jurassic Park, because you just can't control the animals. I was pretty into this book. Like I was pretty like, okay, sure, you found dragons, that's fine. I was kind of just like rolling with it. I think where it kind of goes off the rails is that they learn to communicate with them too much.
Oh yeah,
too much. It's like, what do you want to do today, dragon? I don't know. Maybe
some
just
soccer.
Fly around. Put my tail in a lake. Burn some stuff.
Okay.
So, I think it's one that you have to kind of read knowing that, like, this is a goofy book, and they're dragons, not technically dinosaurs, but,
sure.
Where do you fall in the dragon-dinosaur situation?
I believe that all dinosaurs evolved into dragons, and then dragons went into space and are waiting for them to come back.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad that you believe that.
I tend to like dragons because they remind me of dinosaurs.
Okay.
But I tend not to like the big dopey dragons that are like, oh, hi.
Are you a fan of Dinosaur Comics by Ryan North?
I tried. Yeah. You've always been
I'm a big
proponent
fan.
for those.
Yes.
And I've never really clicked with those. But
really?
I know you love Dinosaur Comics.
Dinosaur Comics by Ryan North. It's basically you have a static image of dinosaurs. You have what? It's like a T-Rex and a Utahraptor? Is that what it is? I don't know dinosaurs.
Or just a velociraptor.
Okay. And those pictures never change. It's just each time the what is it called? The
panels.
Yeah, the panels. The dialogue in the panels are different. And they just crack me up. They just slay me. I love them. They're so funny. Sometimes they acknowledge what's happening in the panels. Sometimes they don't. It's often funnier when they don't.
Right.
Things are just happening. So I love those. If you haven't read those, you can find those online still. And there are some paperback collections of that as well. I love those.
As a kid, anytime Calvin and Hobbes did dinosaur comics, I was very happy.
Okay.
Bill Watterson's art with the dinosaurs just got better and better over the years.
Okay.
It became, especially the Sunday comics where it was all color. They just looked great. I think he said after Jurassic Park, it kind of killed his desire to draw them anymore because it was just hard. But anytime that happened, I was like, this is awesome.
Nice.
So a book I haven't read, I wish I had thought about it, is Carnosaur by Harry Adam Knight. And this book came out in 1986, and it's basically just people call it like the B or C level Jurassic Park.
Oh.
Very similar, but and also kind of gorier. So I think they made a movie out of it after Jurassic Park came out. So I've been meaning to read it. I mean, it's only 200 pages.
Who wrote this?
Harry Adam Knight. So that is definitely on my to-read list. What other? I have some dinosaur books where they speak and can fly spaceships or something on my Kindle. I just have never picked it up because, maybe it's a bit too much for even myself. Let's see.
It's too much because they drive spaceships?
Yeah, I tend to just want my dinosaurs being
Let
dinosaurs.
All right, well, I want you to read Carnosaur and report back. The last one I'm going to mention here that's it's more like a junior level, and that's Super Dinosaur by Robert Kirkman. This is a pretty fun series, and this is one that we have here in our collection. I only read the first volume because that's all I have, and now we have it in the collection, so I need to go back and
4 volumes, yeah.
finish the rest of them. But it is that first one is kind of like, yeah, this is fine, and it ends on a really good what?
Mm-hmm.
So that's super fun. There's several that my son likes. He loves Never Touch a Dinosaur by Rosie Greening. Those are all like textured pages. It's all like, no, you don't want to touch those spikes.
Right.
So
yeah, I've seen that one.
Yeah, that one's it's right here. It's right here in front.
Yes. Yeah, I've had fun with that.
Yeah, have you?
Kids books wise, I love What the Dinosaurs Did Last Night. And What the Dinosaurs Did at School.
Yep.
So funny.
Yep.
They just because it's just little dinosaur toys, but they're like the happiest, most expressive dinosaur toys you've ever seen, and like you just put them in the right positions in the right background. It's hilarious.
But I think the only complaint that I have about that book is I think the pictures stand alone. I don't think you need the story.
Yeah,
I think the story waters it
the
down
pictures are so funny.
They are really funny.
Oh my gosh, especially the one where they go to school and they're like in the science lab. They've got this just tiny little dinosaur toys with big goggles.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, kills me. I love it.
It's well done.
My kids are going to be reading that.
I'm sure
for the rest of their lives. Whenever I have
we
kids,
can't skip Danny and the Dinosaur.
Right.
I mean,
hey,
I love.
You know
Danny
why
and
we
the
can't
Dinosaur.
skip Danny and the Dinosaur?
Why?
Pretty sure that's like the first book I ever read all by myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Danny and the Dinosaur.
Yeah, it was an I Can Read book that
it is,
that I had, and I was like, oh, I can. I think because it just had a dinosaur, I just kept reading it and reading it. Listen, there are so many dinosaur picture books that I read as a kid, mainly because first time we ever went to the library, I'm pretty sure it might have been like, I don't know when my first interaction with dinosaurs was, but it was very early on, and the first time we ever went to a library, it was a dinosaur-themed visit for me. Just got all the dinosaur books. But, like, there was the picture books where it was a snow day, and so the kid went out, and everything looked like a dinosaur, but it was really just like a car covered in snow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
I can't remember what it is.
Oh, I remember that book.
There's a whole... But there's all these other, like, great dinosaur picture books that I just loved as a kid. But, yeah, Danny and the Dinosaur was a good one.
Well, it's just such a nice, pleasant book, about a kid just having a nice time.
With his
And
dinosaur.
they're really fun to read. My son loves those as well. There's a couple other picture books that he likes.
Yeah.
Well, Mercer Mayer's The Lost Dinosaur Bone is a fun one. They're in a museum.
Okay.
And, the dinosaur bone goes missing, and they're looking all over for it.
Yeah, I have a really cool dinosaur pop-up book that I found that the first time I actually showed your son, he was probably too young because when the T-Rex popped out, I saw a visible he went backwards. He definitely had a surprise. I don't think it was a slow pop-up, but he was still like, "Gah!" because the T-Rex is huge. Just goes out.
There's another one that's in the Goodreads Choice Awards right now. That's it's by Mac Barnett, and it's basically a goofy thing like kids asking questions and the parents coming up with goofy answers, and it's just because it's called Just Because.
Oh, okay.
And one of them is about what happened to the dinosaurs. And there's one dinosaur page. He loves the book, but there's a dinosaur page where a T-Rex is like roaring, and he's got these really small eyes. And every time I turn to that page, my son puts his hand over it, and he's like, "No, I'm not looking at that.
Skip that page.
That's
Dad.
too scary." But yeah, that's that one freaks him out.
A couple of years ago, I read The Tyrannosaur Chronicles: The Biology of the Tyrant Dinosaurs by David Hone. Which I really liked because it kind of,
Is this the one that you were putting yourself to sleep reading at night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a nice read.
Yeah.
I just read about like what T-Rexes probably ate, which dinosaurs were probably their prey, and which ones they probably ignored.
Yeah.
And then I would fall asleep thinking about it, thinking how sweet it would be to go back in time and just hang out with dinosaurs.
That's cute.
Shut up, it's not cute.
It is a little cute.
I was also reading The Rise and Fall of Dinosaurs, but it was spending a lot of time, too much time on like the people and their adventures discovering the dinosaur bones.
Okay.
I'm like, stop talking. Just tell me what dinosaurs ate and what ate them.
Yeah, you don't want to hear all the extra.
But I'm going to go back to it. I also want to read Dinosaurs Without Bones, Dinosaur Lives Revealed by Their Trace Fossils. And there's also a new one that we just got called The Story of Dinosaurs in 25 Discoveries, which are about 25 discoveries that have changed our thoughts about dinosaurs.
That's fun.
Yeah.
There's one that I have to bring up even though it's a sore spot between us. Do you know which one I mean? Dinosaur Rumpus.
Oh, yeah.
Eric bought my son a book called Dinosaur Rumpus by Tony Minton. I despise this book. It's about dinosaurs getting together to have a dance party.
Right.
And it is just the most unpleasant book to read aloud. Like, it's kind of funny. It's fun, like dinosaurs getting together to dance. But there's something about the way that it's written that I just, anytime he asks for it, I'm like, oh. Well,
at least he's asking for it. That makes me happy.
He does ask for
Listen,
it sometimes.
I actually think I bought this book thinking it was another book that I can't remember.
That's what you said. That's
Yeah.
what you said before.
You know what? It might be called The Dinosaur Stomp.
Oh.
No, that's a thing. I don't know. Stomp, Dinosaur Stomp. Oh, here it is. Saturday Night at the Dinosaur Stomp.
Well, that sounds fun.
That by Carol Diggory Shields, illustrated by Scott Nash. That's what I meant to buy for your son. And I bought the wrong book.
Yeah, that would have been
Saturday
better.
Night at the Dinosaur Stomp. Lots of fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. My son loves Dinosaur Train on PBS.
Oh, sure.
That's where.
Oh, yeah. All right. No.
You don't like it?
No, go on, though.
That's pterodactyls adopted
Yeah.
baby T-Rex. You're not a fan?
I mean, It's very young.
Yeah, it is. It's true. Well, he's a child.
And they're on a stupid train.
They're on a train. I just like it because they're like, what do kids like? Trains. What else? They like dinosaurs.
Dinosaur train.
There you go. There's the series Bible.
I guess we'd be slightly remiss of also mentioning Michael Crichton's other book, the book that he never meant to ever put out.
Right.
Dragon
Pirates
Teeth.
Latitude.
Dragon Teeth.
Okay, Dragon Teeth.
Which was the story of the Bone Wars.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's another one I read. I read Every Hidden Thing by, it's Opal. What's his first name?
How would I know that?
Okay. So Every Hidden Thing was a YA book about the dinosaur wars.
Okay. And the dinosaur wars would be?
When the T-Rexes declared war on Europe.
Oh, yeah, I remember that now.
No, so it's the Bone Wars is what they're called.
Okay.
So the Bone Wars were these two scientists were basically competing for years trying to discover different dinosaurs and more dinosaur bones, and it actually helped a bunch of people. It helped the discovery of hundreds of dinosaur species. It was huge, but they also were super bitter and contemptuous about each other and would sabotage each other's digs, destroy bones. They would lie and cheat and ruin, slander each other. It was just they were out to destroy one another. And Every Hidden Thing makes it about one of their sons and one of their daughters falling in love. And discovering the T-Rex. So it's that wasn't the best book in the world. I gave it 3 stars. It's by Kenneth Opal. So yeah, Every Hidden Thing. That was a pretty good YA one. I enjoyed that one more than Evolution of Claire.
This is going to surprise you here that I've never tried to get you to read this with me, but there is a Star Trek book called Star Trek First Frontier where they set down on a planet and it's ruled by dinosaurs.
What?
Yeah.
And in all the years we've known each other, you never thought to mention this.
I know. But now I feel like we have to read this together.
Right.
So do you want to commit on air to reading First Frontier? Star Trek
I don't commit on air anymore.
Yeah, that's probably for the best. I've tricked you so many times.
I gotta commit you to.
At this point, I'm basically Rumpelstiltskin. The problem with getting me to do that is that I'll do it. I'm game. So it's less fun.
Yeah.
But First Frontier is written by Diane Carey, who's a regular Star Trek writer, but the co-author is a Dr. James L. Kirkland, and I wonder if he's some sort of paleontologist or something, because it says he is, yeah. It's written by Diane Carey and James L. Kirkland, an American paleontologist and geologist. Worked with dinosaur remains from the southwest United States of America and New Mexico, and discovering new and important
dinosaur bones.
Genaria? What is that?
That's the different species.
Okay. Well, anyway, so right there, you got a dinosaur paleontologist writing the... Sorry, I said dinosaur paleontologist.
That's okay.
All right. So you want to read First Frontier with me? We'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it
off mic. All right.
What's your favorite dinosaur?
Stegosaurus?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I asked Nick that a few years ago, and he just had no clue, so I had to work him.
I had to choose. I had to have one because this question comes up a lot, and I need an answer.
It was
I don't know if you saw me pause and panic as I tried to think about...
You had to describe to me the dinosaur, and I had to work with you to figure out which one it was.
It was a learning experience for both of us.
Stegosaurus, yeah.
If you read First Frontier with me, maybe
I could have just told you. He's like, yeah, that's There was a not splicers. No, sliders. There was a sliders episode where they went to a dinosaur planet.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun. Stegosaurus was
I'll
there.
watch Sliders. All right.
Did you ever watch Supernova? Terra Nova.
No.
I watched...
Oh, yes. I watched the pilot, and I was like, no,
45 minutes of the pilot and turned it off before a single dinosaur showed
You
up.
and the rest of America.
So.
All right. Well, outside of Jurassic Park, if you had to recommend a dinosaur book to the people out there,
son of a gun,
what do you think it would be?
Outside of Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
I wish I had read Carnosaurus before this.
Well, you haven't.
Well, then, I'm going to suggest... Oh, you're going to love this.
Okay.
No, you're not.
Oh.
And just give me a second. All
right.
1 second. Everybody relax. Where do we have to be, right? The Illustrated Encyclopedia of Dinosaurs, the ultimate reference to 355 dinosaurs from Triassic, Jurassic, and Cretaceous periods, including more than 900 watercolors, maps, timelines, and photographs.
So I take it this is nonfiction.
By Douglas Dixon.
Okay.
Yeah. That's one I have in my own house.
Okay.
So, because after you read this, you'll be like, I gotta check out Jurassic Park.
I guess so, yeah.
So, no, I don't know fiction-wise, because I hated Dinosaur Lords. Those were pretty popular here for a while.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, we ended up getting all of them because people kept checking them out.
But I stopped reading once they were like, and then the dinosaurs began to fart a lot. Boy, did they fart. It's like
Is
cool.
that true?
Yeah, there's just a lot of dinosaur
Wow.
farting.
I really thought that was a bad joke, but
No.
it's not. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I would say read Great Zoo of China because it's kind of a goofy book, but in a fun way. I think if you can understand that it's exciting and fun and just a skosh dumb, I think that's really the book for you.
Yeah.
So-
There was a book I remember as a kid. I cannot remember the name of it, where it was like something Valley, and people are like, "You better watch out, Jurassic Park. This book's coming from you." But it was basically
Very
just like
bold.
discovering
Very
dinosaurs. Yeah,
bold.
no dinosaurs in it.
We didn't talk at all about Dinotopia.
Oh yeah. I read something.
Yeah.
I cannot remember the picture book.
Okay.
But I've never understood how those series works because they're just like art books.
It is confusing.
But they're also chapter books.
Right.
And I never know which one to read first.
I don't either. And there was shows. There was like a
Yeah.
movie
Oh,
and then shows.
gosh,
and I don't know, I
the
haven't seen
pilot, the show was terrible. The miniseries.
I haven't
Hated
seen
it.
those.
Hated
All right.
it.
All right.
Who was that? I'm going to look that up.
Eric Von Detten's in it, like from the Princess Diaries. All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for our dinosaur spotlight. Lots of programs left this month. Have we showed Scooby-Doo yet? Yeah, we just showed Scooby-Doo and the Fanosaur over the weekend.
Fanosaurs.
So too late for that. But stop in, check out things we have going on over in the picture book room and some cool dinosaur displays we have throughout the library. And looking at library news, we're currently finishing up Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. And then we're starting The 12 Clues of Christmas by Reese Bowen, which is, I like this series. I've only read one of the other books, but I liked that first book. So I think this will be a fun, cozy Christmas read. We've got the Nutcracker coming back. We've got the Andover Ecumenical Choir coming to do their Advent concert. So a lot of fun Christmassy things going on at the library. Anything you want to mention?
Series was canceled because of only 6 of 13 episodes of Dinotopia aired.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Yep. Anything library news you want to mention?
Yes, obviously. I want to talk about Dora the Explorer and the Lost City of Gold that we're showing December 6th at 4:30 in the auditorium. So if you're super excited for Dora and the Lost City of Gold, where she has to find her parents who have committed crimes and treason against the country.
Is that really what it's about?
No, I think. I think, but her parents do.
I believed you. I fully believed you. So
her parents get lost, and so she has to find them, which is the City of Gold.
Okay, I know I joked about this before, but is this a Tomb Raider movie?
No.
Okay.
Well, it could be. Maybe it's like the prequel.
We don't know. We don't know.
So.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this week, Eric. Thank you for sharing your dinosaur knowledge with us. Thanks to our listeners. What are we doing next week? You got any plans?
No.
It's almost Christmas time.
That's true.
We're gonna
have to read that stupid horse Christmas book that you got me.
That's right. We've got our Christmas book club coming up with special guest Bo Hutchings.
Yeah.
Probably a couple of Christmas episodes coming down the pike. So take a look for that. Take a look out for some
Wait
interviews.
a second. That Christmas wreath sure looks like a horseshoe.
Oh.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
That's the twist.
That sounds good. All right. I think that's going to do it for this week. We'll see you next time.
Oh, wow. Bye.